Hello everyone, welcome back to a new update video. I thought we'd go back to the method I did that one time where we kind of look at my, on Steam at these things so people can get a better idea of what we're looking at, and also it's less work for me. So, the first game I think I might be playing, apparently this game is only an hour long, so it's not going to be a long one. This comes out May 18th. Gibbon Beyond the Trees. Master the Gibbon's art of movement with a unique moveset that lets you swing, slide, and somersault through a lush jungle canopy and experience a free-flowing story of family and survival as you search for a home that may be lost forever. Did you get all that? So, yeah, this seems pretty cool. Seems like it has a good message behind it, and I've always wanted to live out my dream of being a gibbon. And like I said, it's only an hour long, so it'll be a fairly short play, but it just looks cool. I think I saw this on like a Nintendo Direct or something like that, but yeah, that's the first one there. There's also not only going to be Steam games on this list, but most of them are Steam games, and I'll probably save the other ones for later on in the video. We can go over those. So the next one is Recursive Ruin, so a kaleidoscopic narrative game in which an artist comes to terms with their grief, exploring an infinitely recursive world of strange fractal beauty and solve mind-bending puzzles. Confront the ineffable and chat with your cat in search for meaning and hope. There we are. So, a nice mind-bending puzzle game. For me, the person that is always very, very good at puzzle games. So, this will probably be a very, 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 very good call. I think that one will go well. The next one is one people actually requested me to play the demo of, but now the full game is coming out, Floppy Nights. So, I really like strategy, RPGs, like so. I also like card games, so this is basically right up my alley. It's exactly what it looks like on the tin. We got little tile-based movement, we got various cards that we put into our deck and can do different things. It seems adorable and seems very, very, very fun. That comes out May 24th, so that one will be coming up pretty soon. Some of these, I don't know about, obviously, not the Gangaroo. Some of these are a if, maybe, kind of thing. I don't know if I'm totally going to play them or not. A lot of these probably will get played, because since we're into summer now, or starting to get into summer, the big releases are grinding to a halt because the fiscal year has now passed and capitalism lets out a collective sigh as they don't have to deal with their shareholders for another quarter. Or, well, they still got to deal with them, but they don't have to worry about the response that they get. So all the big AAA games, there's not a lot coming out now. So this is usually a slow part of the year. Like this and January are usually pretty slow parts of the year. So this is Cow the Kangaroo. This is a cool little platformer I thought looked pretty neat. It's apparently based off of a classic game that I've never heard of. It was a very popular older platformer, and they're kind of, yeah, inspired by the golden age of 3D platformers. Cow the Kangaroo returns in a whole new adventure. Embark on an epic journey, master magical gloves, explore lush environments, and take Cal through his most grand tale yet. Game looks very, very pretty. I like it. I like the art style and everything. Art definitely reminds me of Crash Bandicoot, which is a good thing. Also like Sly Cooper a little bit as well. I don't know, I like it, and I also like the idea of mastering different gloves. And also having a kangaroo protagonist. I think it actually listed round 2. Yeah, the 2003 re-release. Yeah, look at this old thing. Everybody was talking about Banjo-Kazooie and stuff. Where was Cow? So, yeah, that looks neat. We will probably play that. This one I'm a bit more unsure of. I am personally really interested in it. I just don't know if anybody else would be. So, I love tower defense games. I have always loved tower defense games. Bloons Tower Defense, Kingdom Rush, Sanctum Tower Defense. There was this one tower defense I played. It was like a Flash game that I loved. I played way too much time. I spent way too much time playing that. I've just always kind of had a history with tower defense games, and this is a dungeon crawler. Epic action adventure with tower defense combat. Dungeon crawl through a ruined kingdom, fending off hordes with turrets and traps. Punch them into pits, pull them into spin blades, zap them, and burn them. So it's like a dungeon crawler, except you beat the rooms with turrets. Your character themselves don't really have a good attack, which I think is a pretty interesting idea and a good melding of genres. So so I'm quite interested in playing that one. This one I'm probably definitely going to play against my better judgment, just because people seem to enjoy when I let my thalassophobia take over. Dive into Silt's harrowing ocean abyss and unravel long-forgotten mysteries. Explore the dangerous waters, possess sea creatures, and solve puzzles to travel deeper into the darkness. Like, that's what I want to do with my life. So think 2D Subnautica, even more cursed, more puzzle heavy. Like, look at this shit. Look at this limbo stuff. I'm going to hate this. But it'll also probably be pretty cool. So, yeah, so that's a look at Silt. Next one is another Metroidvania, finally. For the people that are looking for JRPGs, there's unfortunately not going to be a lot of those on this list. Just because there's not a lot coming out. Although I might have time to do like a classic LP at some point in June, because there's not a whole lot coming out in June. Obviously Silt comes out June 1st, that's our first June title. Next we have Soldiers. This is a Metroidvania, which looks pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of Astalon, because you can control a few different characters here. I had to adjust my mic, sorry. But yeah, it looks really cool. We got, you know, various things going on. All the stuff that you would expect from a Metroidvania. Looks very, very fun. And I've been fiending for another Metroidvania kind of similar to Astalon, so... It comes out on June 2nd. This was actually supposed to come out earlier, but I think it got pushed back, because I was actually planning to play this earlier. So that'll probably be a yeah. I usually like to get opinions on things before I just hop right into them, but this one's a maybe. I'm personally interested in this. Our adversaries tonight, an unscrupulous bunch of scoundrels and rogues rumored to possess an unlimited fund between them. If we stick to the strategies you've learned, this will be a walkover. Comte de Saint-Germain. Oh, Saint-Germain! I know you from, well, I know the name Saint-Germain from, Castlevania. But, yeah, this is basically a card game where you're encouraged to cheat. It's just like, cheat your ass off. Just cheat your absolute ass off, which seems kind of fun to me. The art style is also very interesting. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's something anyone would be into. I'm also not even sure how long it is. But, we will keep it in mind. So, the next game, which actually isn't an indie game, the first one on this list that isn't really an indie game, is The Quarry. So, I probably wouldn't play this on Steam. I would probably play this on my PlayStation, but this is the new game from the developers of Until Dawn, and unlike the Dark Pictures anthology that they were working on, this seems to be like a new full-fledged game, kind of taking the same idea that the original one had, and I loved Until Dawn, so this one will maybe get played. So basically, if you don't understand what it is, when the sun goes down on the last night of summer camp, 9 teenage counselors are plunged into an unpredictable night of horror. The only thing worse than the blood-drenched locals and creatures hunting them are the unimaginable choices you must make to help them survive. So the deal with Until Dawn was it, you know, basically played out like a little narrative adventure game. And there were like collectibles and stuff to get, but there were a bunch of choices that you made. And those choices decide whether people lived or died, and there were different endings based off of that stuff. But it was, you know, at its core, a horror game. And I really, really enjoyed it. I think it'll be very, very, very cool to play. So this one I'm quite excited for. The Quarry. Cool. So, what else do we got? This one is a tiny little puzzle game I'm interested in. Please fix the road. Please. I'm so tired of the road not being fixed. So, please fix the road. This is a puzzle game where you fix the road. Please Fix the Road is a colorful, minimalistic, laid-back, and casual puzzle game in which it's probably not hard to guess. You're fixing roads. Your road repair doesn't have to be beautiful, it just needs to get the job done. Your mom will like this game too. I don't know. I don't know if she would. So, yeah, it's just a puzzle game about fixing roads. Once again, I am peak puzzle game mind. My mind is made for them, you know? Definitely very, very good at puzzle games. So now we take a massive jump, because this is June 10th, and then there's not anything I really see that comes out that I'm interested in until June 30th. So this is Mondially? So it's about you building relationships and exploring the world. An ordinary guy from an ordinary town on ordinary day uncovers the secrets of an extraordinary underground kingdom located under his home. Your adventure begins. So we got Secret Underground Kingdom, Narnia, you know, Deltarune, Undertale, all that garbage. So this has no combat. I say garbage as like a general term. I'm not talking shit about any of those games. I love all of those games. Even Narnia's okay. So this is basically has like no combat or anything like that. It's just getting to know the locals and exploring the world and everything, which seems cool to me. It's like, you know, it's like Deltarune if you were just in town, or Amori as well if you were just in town talking to people, which I think sounds kind of fun. So that seems neat, and that's basically everything I'm looking at for May and June. Of course, I have 213 games on my wish list, a lot of them with an ominous release date of 2022 or 2023 or soon. So I don't really know when those are going to be coming out. Sometimes they just drop the release date like a week before the game comes out, and I find out and I'm scrambling to, you know, play the game. So these plans may change, they may adjust, but that's basically what's on my list for right now. I may throw a classic LP in there at some point if things are a little bit slow. I don't know what that classic LP would be, but it'll be a surprise for everyone. So the other 4 games I'm looking at are ones that just generally are coming out later. I don't think this is... yeah, so Live Alive is an awesome, like, old JRPG that I've never played, but I hear really good things about it. I say it's awesome. I've never played it. Apparently Undertale was straight up based off of it. Like, Toby Fox has said that, yeah, no, I think it was Megalovania straight up based off of one of the songs in that game, which seems pretty crazy. So that's cool. Then we also have, I should specify a little bit more about it. So basically the thing with Live Alive is there's like 9 characters, and you follow each of their stories. Think Octopath Traveler, except they don't even, as far as I understand, try to have the stories come together. Maybe they do in some way, but as far as I understand, the characters don't interact at all. It's 9 separate stories, and you do them all, and maybe there's some overarching thing that they all come together for at the end. But for the most part, it's basically an anthology of little stories, and it seems really, really cool. It's apparently a very, very well-loved JRPG that just never came to the West, so there's that. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I like Xenoblade Chronicles. I have not played Xenoblade Chronicles on the channel because that game is enormously long. But I am interested in playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, possibly. I don't know. I thought I would run it by people. It would be an enormously long LP. Like, probably longer than Elden Ring long. And I was doing hour-and-a-half long episodes for Elden Ring about halfway through. So Xenoblade 2 would be here for a while if I decided to play it, but I'm very, very interested in that franchise. I love Xenoblade and the Xeno series in general. I also love Xenogears and all that, so we'll see about that. I'll see what people think. The other game I'm looking forward to that comes out sometime this year, the new chapter of Frog Detective is one. And then we also have Mario plus Rabbids whenever that releases. The sequel to the first Mario plus Rabbids game, which was surprisingly good when it had no right to be. It is a pretty good game, so I'm interested in playing the sequel. Because, I don't know, I like Nintendo games, and they're cute and colorful, and they're fun. So, yeah, I think that's basically all I'm looking at. That's all I wrote down. There's probably a bunch of other things which may or may not be on my wish list that I didn't include here. Or, of course, there could be things that just don't have a release date yet and will appear later, but I think that's basically all I have to say. I can't give an update on 2 things. My Steam Deck came, and I've been staying... I basically now have the ability to lay in bed when I should be sleeping and play roguelikes instead, so that's probably very, very good for my sleeping schedule. And the other thing I did is I went to the Limited Run physical store, because their first physical store actually opened in my home state. So I went over there. That was sort of neat. I got a Shantae plushie. I almost got a physical limited run edition of the Monkey Island games, but I ended up not doing it. But maybe we'll play those someday, especially since that new one's supposed to be coming out now that's being made by the original creators, and people really seem to like those games. But yeah, so that I don't go off on a weird tangent and have like a 20-minute update video here, I think we're gonna go ahead and end this off here. So hopefully people are interested in some of these things that I've outlined. It's going to be a lot of indies, getting back to our roots. But it should be a fun time, and we'll sprinkle in some other things there when we can. So I hope you've enjoyed this little update video, and I'll see you next time.